Since the Elite Season 7 is releasing soon, here is a detailed recap on what happened in the Elite Season 6. So, the Season 6 of Elite was released last year, and while many previous casts left the series, there were many new additions too. So, Samuel's buddies departed Las Encinas after his passing. Elite Season 6 picks up where the previous season left off, with Isadora struggling to cope with the aftermath of her sexual assault. Meanwhile, Ari is dealing with her own demons, including her unresolved feelings for Samuel and her growing addiction to alcohol. This season introduces a new group of students at Las Encinas, including Nico, a trans man who is immediately drawn to Ari, and Didak, a wealthy and arrogant young man who quickly becomes the center of attention. The Isadora house is a new bar that Isadora's parents open and manage. Ari is drawn to Nico, but when she learns that he is a trans man, her biases prevent them from being together. Ari also understands that a fear of hurting Nico the way she did Samuel is undermining her relationship with him. The relationship between Patrick and Ivan is strained after Cruz, Ivan's father, kisses the former. When the video becomes viral, Patrick uploads one in which he claims he started the kiss to make apologies with Ivan and restore the football player's reputation. Cruz is inspired to come out gay, after which his supporters begin to pick on him, leading the referee to call off a football game he was playing. Cruz runs up to a bunch of unrelated males in distress who beat him to death because he was gay. Ivan begins to think that Patrick was responsible for his father's passing since he set the path for his father's coming out. Because of the same, he breaks up with Patrick. The rape accusations against Hugo, Javier and Lex are dismissed due to a lack of proof. By filming his friend's confession to raping Isadora with Hugo and Lex, Javier's boyhood pal Didak attempts to uncover the truth beyond the sin. Despite the confession being rejected by Isadora's attorneys as inadmissible proof, she is successful in telling the world the truth about her suffering. Hugo and Lex employ Javier to divert Isadora and her companions while fabricating a story that Ivan also sexually assaulted her. Isadora initially had some of the same thoughts, but when Didak makes his friend tell her the truth, she is able to reunite with Ivan. Ral, Sarah's dominating and abusive partner, causes her some difficulty. She gains awareness of Ral's abuse and the strength to leave her partner thanks to Mencia. While out having fun, Sarah kisses Mencia, but Mencia quickly realizes that Sarah is not into girls. Sarah is urged to be honest with herself by Mencia, who also cautions her against forcing intimacy. On the other hand, in order to persuade Patrick and Mencia to testify in his place, Benjamin urges Ari to do so. In order to swear their thoughts, he even gives them 3 cards. In the end, Ari is able to persuade each of her siblings thanks to a specific goal in mind. Now, in the final 2 episodes, a lot of things happened at once, and thus I'll be covering event by event to help you understand better what happened. Now, Ivan's accident. Who was at fault? Ari learns that she's expecting Ivan's child during a Venetian carnival night at Isadora's bar. She leaves the bar in astonishment and doesn't say anything to her family or friends. Raul has drugged Mencia, but despite being close to comatose, she pursues her sister. She discovers that the car's front glass is partially broken when she awakes. Mencia mistakenly thinks that she drove over her brother's partner when Ari calls to tell her that Ivan was struck by an unidentified car. Sarah, though, is the one who actually tramples Ivan. Sarah runs into Mencia as she exits the bar and notices that her buddy is not feeling well. She can't even stand up straight. Sarah receives the key to Patrick's car from Mencia after the latter informs her that Ari is ill. Mencia, who is ill, sits next to Sarah while she drives. Sarah loses control of the vehicle as she tries to contact Mencia, hitting Ivan in the process. Raul cleans the vehicle to remove Sarah's fingerprints and drags Mencia into the driver's seat as she reached out to him in surprise. Raul persuades Sarah that they are acting morally since Mencia, who comes from a powerful and wealthy family, is better equipped than Sarah to handle the difficulties of this situation. Sarah is a social media influencer who makes a living from her work. She worries that finding out the truth will result in a massive loss of supporters, which will have an impact on her ability to survive. If Ivan survives the accident, Sarah also wants to avoid the legal struggle against him because he has the resources and the power to ruin her life. She agrees to Raul's scheme because she thinks Ivan won't forgive her but will pardon Mencias because the latter is his boyfriend's sister. Despite the worst being feared by Ivan's friends and acquaintances, he survives. Within the window of hope, Patrick is able to transport him to a medical facility. Surgery is performed, saving Ivan from certain death. Ivan's odds of passing away are incredibly slim, but they can't guarantee it to Patrick, Ari, and Mencia. As the story comes to a close, Ivan regains consciousness and calls out for Patrick, which can be interpreted as a sign that he would likely survive. Now, Isadora's rapist arrested? What really happened? On the other hand, Hugo and Lex plan to rape a girl they met on the dance floor at Isadora's pub during the Venetian Carnival night. Hugo struggles to obtain an erection after accidentally injecting a substance Isadora had put in his suitcase. He believes that forcing himself on someone will give him the thrill of achieving the same. Javier, having discovered his two friends' plot, tells Isadora about it, who then phones the police. Javier also appears to admit to the police that he raped Isadora alongside Hugo and Lex. Isadora meets with Didac to make amends after the capture of her rapist. The ending scene. In the meantime, a car enters Las Encinas property and an unknown individual fires a gun repeatedly. Given that Isadora was present when the gun was fired, the gunman might be a relative of Hugo or Lex, seeking retribution for the two rapists. The individual who is probably attempting to assassinate Isadora for damaging Hugo and Lex's lives could be a relative or someone hired by the relatives of the two boys. Now, why did Ari, Patrick, and Mencia left Las Encinas? Ari believes that Mencia's admission that she ran over Ivan is the last straw in their sad life in Madrid. Benjamin and his kids travel to Madrid in search of a new beginning for their lives. However, the decision opens the door for events like Ari's near-death encounter and unintended pregnancy, Mencia being attacked by Armando, Samuel's passing, and Mencia's conviction that she almost killed her brother's partner. In terms of Ari, she understands that they must flee to a location where they will not be required to cope with their prior traumas. Well, this was the entire detailed recap of Elite Season 6. The Elite Season 7 releases on 20th October. See you in that review.